A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a recent analysis by the Nonpartisan Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget, the economic plans of Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump have come under scrutiny, revealing alarming projections of increased national debt. The report, released Monday, estimates that a Harris presidency could lead to an increase in the national debt by $3.5 trillion over the next decade. Despite Harris's campaign assertions that her investments in the middle class and housing would be fully funded through higher taxes on corporations and the wealthy, the analysis paints a different picture. Harris's campaign policy guide emphasizes her commitment to fiscal responsibility, claiming she aims to support the economy while simultaneously reducing the deficit. However, the analysis raises questions about the feasibility of these claims. On the other hand, the report suggests that Trump's economic proposals could add even more to the national debt, projecting an increase of $7.5 trillion, with the possibility of reaching as high as $15.2 trillion. Trump has consistently argued that his policies would stimulate economic growth to such an extent that concerns about deficits would be alleviated. The 34-page report highlights the pressing issue of government borrowing that will confront the winner of the upcoming election, with total federal debt held by the public currently exceeding $28 trillion. This figure is expected to continue climbing as government revenues struggle to keep pace with the rising costs of programs like Social Security and Medicare. The analysis underscores the growing burden of servicing this debt, which has now surpassed the costs associated with national defense and healthcare for elderly Americans. It warns that under both Harris's and Trump's plans, debt is projected to outpace economic growth, with deficits likely to increase faster than under current law. Despite the gravity of the situation, neither candidate has prominently addressed budget deficit reduction in their campaigns. However, various analyses suggest a stark contrast in fiscal responsibility between the two candidates. Harvard University professor Jason Furman, a former top economist in the Obama administration, projects that Harris's policies could either reduce deficits by $1.5 trillion or increase them by the same amount. In contrast, Furman estimates that Trump's plans could lead to a $5 trillion increase in deficits, not accounting for his proposals to eliminate taxes on overtime pay and remove limits on state and local tax deductions. Additional analyses from the Budget Lab at Yale and the Penn-Wharton budget model also indicate that Harris may be better positioned to manage the deficit effectively. The Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget's analysis further details that Harris's policy initiatives could add $3.5 trillion to the national debt by 2035. This estimate is contingent on how various programs are costed and includes projections of $4.6 trillion in tax reductions, which encompass extensions of some of the expiring tax cuts from 2017, tax breaks for parents, and exemptions for hospitality workers' tipped income. However, the analysis also highlights that the anticipated $4 trillion in increased taxes on corporations and the wealthy would fall short of covering the total costs of her agenda, including the interest on the resulting debt. The report also notes that while it is possible Harris's agenda might not add to baseline deficits, a worst-case scenario could see her policies adding as much as $8.1 trillion in debt. In stark contrast, Trump's economic proposals are projected to contribute an additional $7.5 trillion to the national debt. His anticipated $2.7 trillion from tariffs would be insufficient to offset the $9.2 trillion in tax cuts and other expenditures, including a proposed $350 billion for border security and deportation efforts. The analysis also presents scenarios where Trump's plans could lead to even higher deficits, suggesting that if tariffs yield less revenue and deportation costs are higher than expected, the national debt could balloon by as much as $15.2 trillion. Conversely, if tariffs generate $4.3 trillion and deportation costs are eliminated, Trump's policies might only raise the debt by $1.5 trillion over the next decade. As the election approaches, voters are left grappling with the implications of these economic plans and the potential for increased national debt under either candidate. With the stakes higher than ever, the need for a clear and responsible fiscal strategy is paramount for the future of the American economy. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.